show you a couple of meals that are really inexpensive and quick for those busy days when maybe you're in between going to the grocery store and they're still really healthy. What I'm doing here is making some homemade mayonnaise. You can find this on my blog, therosehomestead.com. I'll link it down below. It's really simple. You just really need an egg and something acidic. I use either lemon juice or mustard, Dijon mustard, a little bit of salt, and some olive oil or avocado oil works good too. And I use an immersion blender to blend it up. I got this obnoxious bottle of olive oil and it took me forever to get into it, but you just blend it with an immersion blender and it comes together and you have mayonnaise. And this only makes like a cup, maybe a little bit more, and so it's not like you have to use it, or you're not going to use it up before it goes bad. And we go through a lot with making things like egg salad and what I'm going to be making today for lunch, which is tuna salad. Roasting some organic baby carrots with olive oil and salt. It's a really easy side dish, and these packs of carrots are like $2 at my local Walmart, and so it's an inexpensive ingredient to keep on hand, and they keep really well in the fridge too. So that's one thing that I like to do, is especially in the winter, is to keep things that are convenient and cheap on hand. So this is the only brand of tuna that I use. It's I can't remember, I think it's Safe Catch. Yeah, Safe Catch tuna. It is BPA free cans and it's really high quality tuna, and I keep several cans on hand so I can make things like this. And for my tuna salad, I really just use salt, pepper, and mayonnaise, and mix it up and serve it with our carrots. Now you're going to notice throughout the video I'm using some new knives. I actually got like really good knives. It's been a long time, well, ever. I never really bought a set of knives that was good quality. These are from the company Forged Knife, and I really like them, so I'm going to link them down below if you want to check them out. But they are super sharp, and I had to be kind of careful because I was sure I was going to cut myself using them. But they say a dull knife is a dangerous knife, and so these should be safer for me than the others. So my bread turned out really nice this week. This is the same day artisan bread, the easiest artisan bread ever, but made with fresh milled flour. I've been making it lately, and it turned out really, really good this week. I was tickled with the, it was really soft on the inside and chewy, and it turned out really good. I was tickled with it. Sometimes, a loaf turns out better than others. I don't know why this one did, but it's really good. And so this is our lunch for the day. We had tuna on this fresh baked sourdough artisan bread and carrots, and I had some Brazil nuts on the side. I like to have Brazil nuts a few times a week. It's good for you, so adds extra protein to the meal as well. About you all, but I'm clamoring for spring. We're having some warm days. I got my cruciferous plants are doing well. You can't see them really good because of the grow light, but they are coming along nicely. And before you know it, we'll be in the garden putting them out. And I'm slicing up this bread. I get people asking me how I store my bread. It really kind of depends, but sorry about the lighting. But for me, I have found it to be kind of pretty to use one of these cake pans or cake dishes and just stack the bread on it and then put the lid on, and it's easy access, plastic free. And I don't do this all the time. Like in the spring and summer, I need my table and I have to move this out of the way, but for now it's a good way to take care of it. So I am going to make what honestly is not a really pretty looking meal here, but it was one of the most delicious meals we've had in a while. It is for just a simple pasta, but I had some leftover cream cheese in the fridge and I decided to make a creamy sauce with onions and mushrooms, and it was so good. I mean, absolutely delicious, but it was not a meal that you would impress your friends on Instagram taking a picture of it. And I find that those are usually the most delicious meals, to be honest with you. But this is another really frugal meal. It's just whole grain pasta. I usually make my pasta, but today I worked in the office, and by the time it was getting in the afternoon and I wanted to think about dinner, I just come up with something really easy. And I keep a good quality whole grain pasta on hand just for days like this. But I just put some grass-fed milk and cream cheese in with the onions and mushrooms and mixed it up with some whole grain pasta. Again, not the most appetizing looking, but it was absolutely delicious, and I'm going to be making this again. So one thing we have been really into lately is frappes in the afternoon. I know it's winter and that's probably crazy, but put an extra log on the fire and have a frappe. If you've never made one, it's super easy. Now, we got this machine for each other as a gift because it makes cold brew coffee, and with summer coming up, spring coming up, we got ahead of ourselves and now we're making it even in the winter. But it was a warm day, so it was perfect. But I just brew up about 6 ounces of cold brew coffee. This is a rapid brew, of course. 8 ounces of milk in my blender with the 6 ounces of cold brew coffee and ice. And I put extra maple syrup in my husband's. I don't use quite as much sweetener, but you just blend it up so that the ice gets crushed up really well. And then you pour it up, mix it up, and I'm telling you, it is so delicious. And we will be having these every single day in the summer, no doubt. I'm grinding up some einkorn flour. I'm making a new recipe on my blog, therosehomestead.com. This is for sourdough crumpets. It is for, it's an overnight recipe. Now, crumpets are kind of like English muffins, but they're more like they're made with a batter, and you have to use a form or a mold. And I'm just using little rings that they're from the 70s, I think. They're choppers. They're some kind of chopper. I'll show you in just a second, but I just let it ferment overnight. It is 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 1/2 cups of water, and 1/2 cup of a sourdough starter. The next morning I add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking soda. And you want to cook these on low. So I have my stovetop on 2, and I'm letting these chopper things. Now, they make special things to do crumpets. so you can use those, or egg rings, but I'm not gonna buy anything special, and these worked. So you want to make sure that you grease them really well, and you want to remove them after the tops are starting to get firm, and then it's easy to take them off. Now, traditionally, these are only cooked on one side, so you let the top get firm and they're done. Now, if you want them to be brown on both sides, you can turn them over once you take the ring off and let them brown on the other side as well. But these are so delicious, and it makes like 14, I think I made 14 or 16 of these. It depends on the size mold that you have, of course, but they're so good with eggs in the morning, or with butter and jam. Just a really fun and new recipe that I wanted to make and have available, especially now that spring is coming here. If you have backyard chickens, you're gonna be getting lots of eggs, and you can poach some eggs and maybe make some hollandaise sauce. It would be so good. Thanks for spending some time with me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Head over to the blog to check out this recipe, and I'll see you next week.